Good evening. Welcome to the Mom to Mom Show, brought to you live by ECRC's Martoma Productions on the Chaldean Moms of Metro Detroit page. My name is Lisa Denha. I'm your host for tonight, and with me today are three women business owners. We're lucky to have Vanessa Denha Garmo, owner of the Denha Media and co-owner of the Chaldean News. In her spare time, she's also a producer for Martoma Productions. We also have Wesen Kassab, who is the owner of Gabby's Garden, and Karen Binu Akuri, who is the owner of Drench. She just launched her own salad dressing. Ladies, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Vanessa, you own Denha Media. Can you tell us a little bit about actually Denha Media and the Chaldean News and a new business that you're starting?
Yeah, that's a nonprofit. But so Denha Media Group is a communications company. We are PR and marketing. We do content creation for clients. So we help our clients identify what their stories are, and we help them write their stories. So we use various platforms that are out there: websites, newsletters, blogs, press releases, social media, video production work, like we do here at Martoma. And so we do communication strategic plans for them. We look at what are you trying to accomplish for the next year. Who are you trying to reach? Who's your audiences? And what are messages you're trying to deliver? And oftentimes, a lot of clients don't even know they have good stories, or they don't know how to tell their stories, or they don't know where to tell their stories. So we help with that. We help with messaging and marketing. And then Chaldean News kind of speaks for itself. Chaldean News is a monthly publication that's also online on the web and social media. And we're a magazine that tells the Chaldean News stories. And we're for the Chaldean community, about the Chaldean community. Both of these ladies have been in the Chaldean News. And we're for anybody who wants to do business with the Chaldean community.
That's great. Very nice. Ladies that are tuning in, please feel free to ask questions to the panelists. We would love to be able to engage with you, so we'd love to hear anything that you guys would have to ask, and the ladies would be more than happy to answer questions. Wesen, can you tell us a little bit about Gabby's Garden and what inspired you?
So Gabby's Garden's an all-natural salad company. We make 10 salads. Our salads are mostly gluten-free vegan, and we sell to about 50 markets. We're in the upscale markets, a few spots in the airport, and we thought there was a need for good food, that something quick and good, and we were having an issue with finding that. So we came up with our salads, where someone that's on the go can grab one and have it as a meal, or add a protein to it and serve it as a side. So good food doesn't have to be fast food. It was our kind of concept behind it, which was inspired by my sister that got sick and chose the holistic approach. And my goal was to make delicious salads for her that were protein-based and plant-based, to supplement the meat products she gave up. So that's the story behind Gabby's Garden, and we've grown from 1,300 square foot retail space in West Bloomfield to our new warehouse that we moved into in February, which is 10,000 square feet. So we're excited and, about what the future has to hold.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of changes.
A lot of changes, yes.
Karen, can you tell us a little bit about Drench?
Of course. So along the same lines as Wesen's company, so Drench emerged from the same kind of need for something better, something healthier. I love to cook, love to make salads for my family. We all want to feed our families healthy, wholesome food. And so it began when I would make salads and use store-bought dressings. And when there was a heightened awareness about reading ingredients and labels, it made me realize that there are so many chemicals in our dressings, things you couldn't even pronounce, like polysorbate 60, monosodium glutamate, disodium and arsenic. I'm like, what are these things, and why are they in our food? So that led me to make my own dressings and salads, and the response was overwhelming. So family and friends would give me compliments and say how much they loved them. And at first I'm like, well, they're just being nice. But that led to, well, I'm having a party, would you mind making it for me? I will pay you. Or will you cater this event? So I found myself doing things I never thought I would expect to be doing. I had a degree in accounting and I was a CPA for 5 years, and then I found myself starting my own salad dressing company, just because the response was just great and there was a need out there. So right now we have 2 different varieties, and we have 4 in the works that are coming
Wow.
soon. Yeah.
Very nice. So now, Wesson, you worked in the food industry before you started Gabby's Kitchen.
I've been a self-taught chef most of my adult life, so it's a passion for me, and it comes natural, thank God. You know, it just I love to eat, so it's easy.
Don't we all?
It's easy to make something
doesn't love
delicious.
to eat?
Yeah, don't we all?
And then, you know, we watched our parents. Everything revolves around food. All our family functions, all the holidays. What can I bring? And we always make more food than everybody, you know, needs. But that's just the way we are. We're very hospitable, and we love to feed our family
the
and
Chaldean
friends.
syndrome,
It is.
right?
That's
Yeah.
the Chaldean in us.
Yeah.
So it's and then now I've have kids that are become very picky when we go to dinner. You know, they're never happy with their meal. Like, Mom, why are we here? You know, you can make this
Yes.
so much better. And
What a
I'm like,
huge
because
compliment.
I need a break. That's why we're here.
Yes.
I don't want to do the dishes. So
I'm tired
it's-
of cooking.
It's
Yeah.
fun. I love what I do, and I hope it shows.
It does show.
Yeah.
They're
So
delicious.
now with
you.
Wesson, she worked in the industry, and it just seems something normal. You worked in the industry, and then you decided to go into business on your own. But with Karen, you were a CPA.
Yeah,
and
and-
then all of a sudden you created a salad dressing.
Right, and I didn't
It's like going
realize-
from one extreme to the other. Any challenges along the way that you did not expect? Because I make my own salad dressing at home, but
Yeah.
I've never turned it into something that's sold at the store. So
Yeah.
just getting the precise measurements.
Yes, and you know I'm like a mad scientist in the kitchen. I love what I do, and it's my passion just emerged over the years, and I love making different concoctions and testing them out and making. And it's funny because when I do the demos that I do, seeing the reactions on everyone's face when they light up, that makes me so happy. So it makes me want to do it more and create new dressings.
It's funny. Your first one was lemon Mediterranean.
Actually, the
Right?
first one was the citrus,
Citrus honey,
Yes.
okay.
And that was my number one. That was the most popular. And the Mediterranean lemon came soon after. That was actually inspired by my mother-in-law, Sylvia. Just like every other Middle Eastern woman, no one really measures, you know. So if you ask them for a recipe, it's a little bit of this, you know, just taste it, you know, or put your finger in the water and it should go to here, you know. It's like no precise measurements, right?
Your finger.
So I pretty much recreated it to taste like hers. And that's a classic Mediterranean taste. And it's very versatile. It goes on every salad.
It's delicious.
Yeah, I think dressings make or break a salad, to be
Yeah.
honest with
Oh,
you.
yeah.
I mean, you
For
can have
sure.
a beautiful salad and the dressing's lousy and you don't want to eat it.
All of a sudden, yes.
Exactly.
Vanessa, could you share with us a little bit of your journey from graduating college, working for, was it WJR at first, going from that into going into your own business, being your own boss?
So I worked at WJR for 10 years. I loved it. I love being a reporter. I think we all are born with gifts that God wants us to use. And I think communication and writing was always one of mine. And I loved being a reporter, and I loved radio. But the industry's different. It's changed a lot. And I had an opportunity to go work at Wayne County, and I was a press secretary for 7 years. And then there were issues with the FBI coming in and investigating, and I saw some things on the horizon even before the media had hit the media. It actually, things hit the media 2 years after I left. And when I left, I literally left with nothing. I had no plan. I had no job. I said, I'll just launch my own company. And I remember being so frustrated at work, and I came home and I was crying, and my then 2.5-year-old came up and brought me a box of Kleenex, and I thought, oh, I gotta go. This is not healthy or good. So, and you know, I really do believe when you take a leap of faith and you do things with good intentions and you pray and you focus on God, that God will show you the way, even though you can't see it at the moment. And so I took a leap of faith, and I remember even coworkers thought I was lying. They're like, where are you going? I'm like, nowhere. they're like, that's not possible. I'm like, no, really, I'm going nowhere. I'm going home is where I'm going. And a month or so after I left, I got a call from a former colleague of mine in the media. And she was telling me about this nonprofit they were launching. They were looking for somebody to produce programming using youth journalists. And she said, we'd love you to come on board. And that one contract almost equaled my salary at the county. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is by the grace of God, So I took that as a sign that I should launch my own company. And I'm just finishing up my 8th year, or 8th or 9th year. No, I started in 2010. So, so now we're going into 2019. So it's really exciting. So it's kind of like a long journey, but everything I've done has always fell under the umbrella of communications, writing, and marketing. It's what I do. But I'll tell you, one of the challenges is starting your own company and not working for somebody. I learned a lot of things the hard way. I thought, I'm a journalist, I get this. I learned a lot from other colleagues who have their own communications company, and I've been very fortunate to have people who are typically considered my competitors who I actually call for help a lot. And I'm like, hey guys, have you had a client like this? And they've been, there's wonderful people out there who have been so helpful, and that I'm so grateful for over the years, who have given me great advice. And even though they're considered my competitors, I don't look at them that way, and they don't look at me that way.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a working relationship like that.
Yeah.
Well, just
for
like you
sure.
guys were just helping each other off the air, you know what I
They
mean?
say there's enough
Yeah.
room at the top for all of
Yes.
us.
Yeah.
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 So if you have a
Exactly.
good product and a good service,
Yeah. I tell clients this all the time. I said, there's all kinds of PR and marketing people, right? We all can pretty much do all the same things. You have to mesh with that person's personality. And I don't take offense when somebody doesn't hire me or they hire somebody else. And maybe they're just a better match for them than I would be, and vice versa. So like you said, there's opportunity for all of us. And there's a lot of business out there for all of us, and we don't need to compete or hurt each other. We should be allies and help each other out.
It's so much easier to work together.
So much
Yes.
easier.
Yeah. Just
we do
focus
that
on your
all
own
the time.
business.
Karen will call me, or I'll call her and ask her if, how she likes her co-packer or who I use for a certain item, and it helps. I mean, I don't have a problem. That was one of the things that helped us. So, we toured Garden Fresh. We got to tour a few different, Safey, they make the pickled beets for Costco. We toured their facility, and everyone was really helpful, and we try to implement that. If you want to come look at our warehouse, we'll give you a tour, and if we can help you in any way, as long as they're not making salads, I'm okay with it. Then we'll have a problem.
I do find the same thing. I feel like more people are willing to help and want to see you succeed.
Yes.
People have reached out to me that I don't even know through Facebook and ask, and tell me that they've had a similar business that they sold, and if there's anything they can do to help me, which I thought was wonderful. So
Yeah.
I'm finding that a lot.
It's like pay it forward. I really
Yeah.
believe
Pay it
that.
forward.
Pay it forward.
And if we can collaborate in any way, I mean, that's wonderful. You
It
know?
is. It is.
Yeah, I've shared clients with
Yeah,
people in the
right?
business. Like sometimes I've taken a client that was so big, and I'm like, I can't do this alone. So I'll
Yeah.
call up a colleague and say, hey, can your business help me? And we'll share this together. And
Yeah,
that's
that's
always
great.
worked out. Yeah. Yeah, you guys might be
that.
able to collaborate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to be your taste tester.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah,
I'm going to
we-
be a taste tester too.
I will.
Do you sell your dressing in a bulk?
I do.
The gallon? Do
I
you really?
We,
That's
we
interesting.
Yes.
Would it be cheaper for me to just buy it in bulk?
Yeah, right.
then?
And you could just
Please.
inject it. And
Can I buy it in bulk?
Just kidding.
yeah, one of my daughter's friends texted her the other day and said, when my mom doesn't look, when she's not looking, I will sneak in the refrigerator and take a sip of dressing.
Aw. Yeah, it's yummy. It is.
It is.
Thank
It's
It is
delicious.
drinkable.
you know what? I'm so addicted to it. I have it at home and
Yeah.
at work.
Aw.
Yeah.
You know
We'll
what?
have
I
to come
love
out
that
with
yours
a
is-
salad where we can
Use the dressing.
A special salad just with your salad and my
Yeah,
dressing.
yeah, sounds good. I'll
Girl
work
power. That's
Drenched
great.
in Gabby's garden.
Drenched in
Yeah.
Gabby's
We'll call it
garden.
drenched
in
Love
Gabby's
it.
garden.
I love it.
Oh,
Yes.
that's clever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, now, what would you consider a must for someone who's starting their own business?
Oh gosh.
Anyone
I
wanna
can
take
start
that
with
question
that. So
I'm sure
gosh.
we have some people that are watching that are possibly thinking of starting their own business. I wish you guys would share a question if you are. But what would you consider a must if you're starting
Well,
your own business?
I would say, well, follow your passion. And like Vanessa was saying, we're all given talents. God gave us gifts. Share them. You know, and that goes along with do what you love, and then it's not work. I know it's cliche, but it's so true. So go with your passion and be positive. If one door closes, it doesn't mean they're all going to be closed. It just means there's something better out there. God has a plan for you. Everything happens the way it's supposed to.
He doesn't close a door without opening a
Without
window.
opening
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yes, and just perseverance. If you believe in your product, be persistent. If you believe in it, it will happen. It just comes naturally.
Yeah, do your homework. Do a little bit of research, you know, and see if your product is something that the consumer needs, and where that way, if you find a need for it, then you obviously makes it a little easier to launch it or things like that. But I think you have to do a little bit of homework and see who your competition is, and always put the best product out there that you can possibly produce. Like, we're real picky. We squeeze our own lemons for our dressing. You know, we squeeze 30 cases twice a week, you know, and we use fresh lemon juice on everything just because the bottle just doesn't cut it, you know, not for me anyway. And, all our produce is sourced locally in the summer. In the winter, that's harder, you know, with unless you're using root vegetables, you know, and so just be consistent with the quality of your ingredients. That's my opinion.
I think both of you hit it on the head. When you have passion, things work out. I think, you know, you do what you love and things will work out for yourself. But doing your homework is really imperative. And like I said, I learned things the hard way. I didn't do enough research before I kind of launched my own company, and I kind of learned things by making a lot of mistakes. But that's okay. I also would say take constructive criticism and don't let it get you down. People, but take into consideration the messenger, because there are good people that are giving criticism and there's people that just want to shoot you down. So
Right.
Consider the messenger when you get the criticism and take it. You know, some people have really good advice and don't take it personally, and we're all going to make mistakes along the way.
As long as we fix them.
Fix them and admit it. You know,
Yeah.
but the biggest mistake people make is defending their mistake. Don't
Yeah.
defend it. I screwed up. Sorry.
Yeah.
How can I make it up to you? And make it better.
Yeah.
You know, and move on and
Learn from it.
yeah, learn from it.
There's a saying, the biggest mistake you can make is the one that you never learn from.
Yeah.
I
For
agree.
sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep. Yep. Do you feel like there are any prejudices against women in the business world versus men? I think it's harder for a woman to start her own business. Did you sense anything?
I mean, I stay focused on the passion, being positive, just persevering. And so I just, focus on that and don't really, let any of that get, become an issue.
Probably the industry that you're in, it depends. You know, maybe if you're in a automotive industry and you're a female, you might have a little prejudice, towards that. But I find that a lot of people are very supportive, proud, that you're a woman-owned business. They're really hyping that up nowadays, women-owned. There's all these little groups, that support one another and support your local women-owned businesses, and they're all about that. So I think it's a great thing, and the support's been awesome from both genders.
I do think you should steer away from people who you could sense negatively quickly. And I think you just steer away and you just focus on what you're doing and surround yourself with people who are supportive of you and what you're doing. And both men and women, I think there's men that are threatened by women who are successful, and I think there's women that are threatened by women who are successful or do really well. But so you surround yourself by women who want to see you succeed and who you can help. You know what I mean? Join that, form that kind of sisterhood, and you have something to offer somebody else and they have something to offer you, and I think you have to look for those support systems.
I agree.
So, is it hard being your own boss?
I
Do
mean,
you find yourself sometimes just saying, like, this is just too much?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, like, I'll question the growth of my company. Do I want to take it to the next level and work more and be more committed, or do I like my, 1 day a week off? And I have that conversation all the time,
With
but
yourself?
with myself. Yes. I know that sounds crazy.
Because
but
it sounds
do.
great
I get
to
it.
be your own
Yeah.
boss,
Yeah.
but
I get
when
it.
you are the boss, you're the one responsible.
the worst part is you can't call in sick.
Yeah, I was going to say,
No.
that is tough. You have no, yeah.
Yeah.
Call in to yourself.
Yeah.
But no, I love it. I love it. I'm just, I'm kind of used to it. I've been bossy all my life, so. But in a good way. I've learned to respect my colleagues, and I get, often that I am bossy, but they end up liking me. Like I hired this one gal, and we just were butting heads, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I can handle her, but she's performing. So, and then the other day I didn't show up to work, and my husband calls and says, so-and-so said she missed you. I said, oh my God, really? So I made a friend out of it. It worked out. So I'm strict, follow the rules, and because it's a big deal to me if they're not on top of their game as far as cleanliness and things like that. We're feeding the masses, and God forbid one little thing can go wrong, and your salads are consumed by thousands of people, and
Yes.
that can make you or break you. So I play by the books, but I'm also, on the flip side, I could be fun to hang out with. But
I would
that's-
say the food industry would have to be
tough.
the
Oh, yeah.
toughest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can't compromise anything.
Yeah, you have to be on top of your game, and it's not easy all the time, but it gets done, it gets done. We have to make sure it gets done.
Karen, with you, you started off with the one dressing, and then it went up to 2, and now you have 4 that are coming. And the food industry was not in your background, obviously. So do you find yourself now just thinking like, oh my God, how am I going to move forward? What's going to be the next step? I'm going to be responsible for this.
Well, everything is growing so fast. So, like Weston, I'm like, oh my goodness, at what point do I need to hire more people? At what point do I need to slow down? Because you could grow too fast as well.
And you're going at a fast rate.
At a fast rate.
Yeah.
But the key is to get the word out and to let people taste the dressing. I mean, it's all about getting the word out, getting the whole philosophy, and educating. That's what's important. So I am trying to be careful about growing too fast, too soon. So I don't want to shoot myself in the foot, but it's doing well, thank God. And so it just, the new flavors kind of come naturally. So it's not like.
What are they? Can you tell us?
Yeah, so I have a balsamic fig vinaigrette.
Yum.
So we sweeten our dressings only with honey or fruit. So we don't use any refined sugars. And we have, so this is kind of different. It's a honey cumin dressing, and
Yum.
it's delicious. It could go either Southwest. It has like a little Indian flair to it, or even Cuban, depending on how you use it. And then we have a vegan Caesar that just got
It was
approved.
very good. Oh, that was
Tried that one,
yummy.
yeah. That one's actually being sold in food service right now, and that'll be bottled soon. And lastly, the one that Lisa's been waiting for is the pomegranate vinaigrette.
Oh,
Yum.
yum. I love pomegranate.
Yeah, that one's coming soon also.
Can't wait for that one.
yeah.
The Caesar's delicious. I'm a big Caesar
I haven't
dresser
had that.
fan.
Balsamic
That's
fig
good.
is delicious.
What's the
Mixed with citrus honey, it's
yum.
amazing.
what's the cream in the?
So
Do you use tahini?
avocado oil.
Avocado oil.
Yeah. So there's no cheese, there's no egg, and there's no anchovy.
Right,
And everyone's
right.
like, okay, what's left?
Yeah.
But it's delicious. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know what's missing. So
Oh, I can't wait to try that.
Thank
I love a
you.
good Caesar salad.
And that's going to be sold in the stores? Or
yes, that'll be in stores, and we were talking earlier, these are all available in food service as well. So you'll see these at different cafes, like Cafe Suco in Birmingham, Beyond Juice. That's a local chain that's
Karen,
growing.
you're basically your own salesperson. You're the boss, but you're the sales lady too. Do you find it difficult going from store to store? This is all new.
This is all new.
Your
I'm-
background's accounting.
I'm pretty much doing everything, like in terms of sales.
It's great being your own
R&D.
boss, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fun, and everyone's been really receptive. Everyone is, everyone's been wonderful about the product. So I haven't really had any challenges. Really, when someone tries it and they see what it stands for, it pretty much sells itself. So that's been easy from that aspect.
Yes. Wes, and you're in 55 stores, right? Did you find it difficult to be the salesperson pushing your product out there?
My husband helps with that. So I'll come up with the recipes and then I'll taste test them. We'll do a run in our test kitchen, and then we'll grow them to obviously a bigger scale. Sometimes we make 3,000-4,000 pounds of salad every mix. So that's kind of crazy. But he generates the business, thank God. So my sisters help me. So we have a good team to where if I need a backup, my daughters do demos. So everyone's kind
Very
of
nice.
involved.
How long did it take you to go from the first couple salads to 55 stores? That's pretty incredible. That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, so we start off with like all the Hillers, and then we got into all the Westbournes, the Papa Joes, the Ninos, and then every time we were ready to, like you were saying, grow slow. Every time we were ready to handle a couple more accounts, Nick would go and drum up some more business, and then they started calling us. Like the Randazzos would go into the Vincent Joes and call us and say, "Hey, we saw your salads there, like we want them." So that it made it a little easy once you establish like a brand asset, then you get the calls.
So do you guys both, like if there's people having parties, would you make a big salad? Would you have the big dressing? Like if someone wanted to do something for a graduation party, do you guys do that?
So
I would
we
say
don't
call
encourage
Wesson.
it. I don't do catering. Like
Okay.
I'll sell these 10 salads, but you would have to buy them in the bulk.
Okay.
In a 7-pound tub.
Got it.
And that's like a nice platter full. If you're having 10,
that's
15
great, yeah.
people, it's perfect. And people can call and come pick them up from my store. If you don't mind driving to Wixom, we don't have a storefront. It's kind of like by appointment.
Got
I have
it.
people that do that all the time.
But the on the go is great
love it.
because we grew up with fast food. Us grew up, and you don't want to do that with your kids. You don't want to, and sometimes I'm on the road all the time. I don't know about you guys, but I'm on the road all the time.
tough, yeah.
I got in the habit of running into the grocery store for something to eat.
It's better.
That I don't have to make. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that's a growing trend that people, especially with the millennials, they want quick, easy, but healthy.
You know what? It really does make sense, because if you think about making a salad, if you buy a bunch of organic kale and snip it and you need all these ingredients, you've got already $30 into a salad that
And your time.
and your time, and you're probably going to waste half of the ingredients
Yeah.
if you're not a big family.
I agree
You're not
with
a
you.
If you're a
family of
working
5.
mom,
Yeah, if you're a
every
working
minute
mom.
counts.
It does.
It does.
So you
Time
have
is
to-
money. Time is valuable.
I agree. So add a protein, add a grilled chicken breast,
Yeah.
or add a piece of salmon, and then you
Yeah.
have salmon tabbouleh
And your
with
salads are
kale.
both of you
Yeah.
guys are
Yeah.
making delicious products. I'm
Yeah.
not just saying it.
Thank you.
They're great.
The presentation is very nice with your salads, because I see it all the time in the grocery stores.
Thank you. That's what we strive for. Like some of the vegetables that we just bought a beautiful machine that was custom made for us. We went to Indiana and then we did a couple runs to the size of our veggies. They build it for you, the blades a
Very
certain
nice.
way.
Wow.
So
I
we
didn't
just
even know something like that was
Yeah.
possible.
Right, that
yeah, we just went automated on
Wow.
that. But some of the stuff we still cut by hand. Like our corn is fresh, we cut it off the husk because
Wow,
I will not use frozen or canned or what have you. It just won't work. So I'm
love
I'm
how
picky.
high your standards
I
are.
really put them to work. So it's fun. You can taste it though, and then we use a lot of herbs.
Oh, we're going to taste them. when we
yeah,
get out
we
there.
use fresh dill,
You know
fresh
what's so
cilantro.
nice to know
We have
is that
spoons here.
you grew from 1,300 square feet to 10,000 square feet, but she's still not cutting back on anything.
Yeah, so that's
so you're still getting the quality.
Exactly.
You're not
That's our goal.
compromising.
Yeah, good point,
Yeah,
Lisa.
our goal is to grow but still keep the integrity of the product the same. And the way we do that is we just hire more help, or we'll get one machine, or and it's working, but we'll see where that's going to take us.
So we have a question, and it's for Karen. Lamise is asking, please tell us more about your Drench dressing operation like Wesson did with her salad warehouse. By the way, I love Drench dressing and Chaldean use and can't wait to try Gabby's salads.
Thank you.
And this is Lamise?
Lamise.
All right, hi,
Yes.
Lamise. So I started making the dressings on my own in a commercial kitchen, but I outgrew that quickly, and so now I have a co-packer, which is also a co-manufacturer here in Michigan, and they bottle it for me. So that's been a godsend because I can focus on sales and all the other aspects of the business, and I won't compromise either. Like I follow that rule. I've been asked to use different oils because it's less expensive. We only use the finest oils, olive
And we
oil.
talked about how much oil do you use?
Oh my gosh,
Do you go through?
I've had to source it now. I'm sourcing it directly from Italy in 55-gallon drums.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just because we're going through so much of it, and I won't compromise. I won't use soybean oil. I won't use canola oil. And those are dressings you typically, if you're making them yourself, you're not gonna even have in your home. Well, at least soybean oil.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, and so all the ingredients are high quality ingredients, and you can tell when you taste it. And we also love to use avocado oil and grapeseed oil. Those are all other good oils, and we don't use any preservatives. Everyone's shocked that it's shelf stable, but it's just all natural and it's clean.
And delicious.
Yes.
It's not the Twinkie that lasts 20 years.
No, right? It doesn't need to last that
Yeah,
long.
commercial with
Everyone
the-
says, how can it last? I mean, it lasts a year.
A year is good.
A year
Anything
is good.
beyond that, you don't need
Yeah.
it. You
And
don't
all
need
these
eating
other,
it.
like the other dressings
Yeah.
will last up to 3 years, and we don't need it.
You
to
kind of
last that
question
long.
what is in
It's
there.
so
Yeah.
good, it's not going to last a year.
No,
It
it
doesn't.
doesn't.
You're gonna,
last.
it'll last a week.
Karen and I
shelf
have
life
talked
needs to be
about,
1 week.
It is more expensive than your average dressing, but it's worth it because you can taste the quality in it, and that is what you're
Thank
getting.
you. Yes, and like Wesson, in the Mediterranean lemon, it is fresh squeezed lemons. We don't use bottled lemon juice. So, and that
Makes
all
a big
shows.
difference. Yeah.
Definitely.
Vanessa, I wanted to ask you, you own your own media company, and then you're also co-owner of the Chaldean Use, and then you're starting a nonprofit. You do production work for Martoma Productions. How do you balance everything? How do you keep track of everything that you have to do?
It's amazing.
Well, Wonder Woman was my secret admirer when I was younger. I did love her. I
You're
wanted
still
those bracelets.
being a
You
super
are
mom
Wonder
to
Woman.
Did you just
Elena,
love her when
and-
you were
Yeah,
growing up?
I did.
I just loved Wonder Woman, but I did not become her, no. I have one child, and I'm blessed with one child, and I thank God I have her. I look at moms with 3, 4, and I don't know how they do it. I was like, how do you do that? I'm stressed with one. It's a lot of work. I just think it's time management. I've always been good with time management. It's just, I think it naturally comes to me. In fact, when I was dating my husband, he was late coming to my house, and my sister said, well, where is he? My older sister Sandra said, where is he? I'm like, I don't know, he's late. And she goes, oh, is he a late person? And I said, well, yeah, he's not really good at time. She goes, oh, you guys are going to fight. Because she knows
I
that
think
I
with
was
Vanessa,
like,
it's in the genes that she's always
yeah,
on time.
I am an on time, but I grew up with a father
Yes.
that was like on time. You're always early. Don't ever be late. So I think a lot of it is just time management, and
Yes.
I just don't believe in wasting time. I don't dilly-dally around. I'm very focused when I have to do something, and I don't take on projects just to take on projects. Even if it's really good money, if I'm not passionate about it, if I don't want to do it, if I don't believe in it, if I don't believe in a client, I just won't take it on. But the nonprofit, the Communications Evangelist Institute, actually came out of being frustrated, being in meetings and dealing with very difficult people. And I'd always, in my head, I'm like, what would Jesus say to these people right now? And I would go to the Bible and say, okay, how would Scripture teach us how to handle a manipulative person or a lying person or a difficult person? And so I started these communications.
Please tell us.
Well, I started these communications evangelist messages, that Christ Centered Communication messages that air on Catholic radio and here with Martoma on television. And so I've been writing these for probably 4 years now. And they're like little 60-second messages.
You
but
can hear them on Ave Maria
yeah,
Radio.
Ave Maria
Wow.
Radio, and then on CTND television. And so I started writing these messages, and it came out of that. I wanted to know I started doing more research, and I'm like, okay, if you're a lawyer or you're a doctor or you're a business owner, how do you always stay Christ-centered in your communication as a parent, as a wife? Because communication can break down everything, can break down all kinds of relationships. And if we're Christ-centered, regardless of what you do, the outcome will always be fruitful if you're focused on Scripture in your messaging. And you don't even have to even sound like you're being Christian in a conversation. You could be dealing with anybody who's not even Christian, but if you're Christ-centered in your communication, you could be much more productive in the way you communicate with people.
So do you get angry?
Oh yeah, I have a major. Let me tell you something. I had a huge temper growing up, huge. And my dad used
That's
to say
also
to me,
in the genes.
It's a Donahue gene. But my dad used to say to me, "Oh, Vanessa, nobody cares what you have to say because you know how to say it." That's what he would say to me. He goes, what you have to say makes so much sense, but you don't know how to say it. So, because I would get so mad.
Yeah.
So I learned over
How
time
ironic is
to
that, though?
control my temper.
Right.
Because I realized that I could be totally right in my argument.
And your
But because
tone,
I
right?
didn't know how to handle my tone,
Yeah.
nobody cared
I agree.
that I was right.
My kids say that to me.
Yeah, because my daughter's like,
Your message would
you're not
mean
going to
so
yell
much
at me,
more."
Mom. Yeah.
What is the saying? You could win the war but lose the battle?
Yeah. So that's where Christ Communication Evangelist Institute kind of came out of it. How to be a communication evangelist, how to really evangelize Christ-centered communication in everything that you do. So that's more of a ministry. It's not really my job, but it came from my own personal frustration. Nothing drove me more crazy than dealing with somebody who I felt was manipulating me or lying to me. That would drive me insane. So I'm like, what would Jesus say to this person right now? Because you don't want to be mean, and you don't want to be them. You don't want to start manipulating and lying back. So how do you handle people like that? So that's what I really started going to Scripture for.
Did it help? Did you start using it on them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I really started using it on bullies and how to deal with people who bully people.
Right.
And it's all in the words you use
Wow.
and how you approach them. And sometimes the less you say, the better.
Right.
The less you confront, the less information you give that person. And sometimes it's the phrasing of the words to get people to back off.
Right.
There is a tactic to it. So
Interesting.
I hope to share that in ministry one day.
Maybe that could be the next
Get
show.
that, get that off the ground.
Yes.
We'll be there.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Ladies, have you found it difficult to start your own business and still manage your family, manage your kids? Karen, you have 3 kids. Wesson, how many?
I have 3 kids,
3.
but they're older, 25, 20, and 14.
But through the journey, they were younger.
Through the journey, yeah, when we had our diner in Wixom, when we had that for 10 years, that was tough. Sometimes I get sad because my oldest daughter will say, you know what, Mom, I raised Nolan, and that hurts my feelings, my little guy. But, I'd like to think I'm a good mom. I did my best, the best that I could with what I had, and my kids turned out okay. I'm not the only mom that works. Everybody's working, thank God. They didn't go to daycare. I had lots of help with family, and that was a plus. But it's always a challenge. Now it's easier. Now it's a lot easier. They're on their own. They're in college. Just make sure their clothes are washed and they have food and they're all set.
They're good to go.
I used to threaten my kids, and I would say, "I'm going to get a job if you don't start helping out," because
And then they'd
they
really be
relied
on their
me.
own,
Yeah,
yes.
they relied on me so much. So, and my sister, she had worked, and her girls were so independent, and so I would always threaten my kids with that. And but now I just put them to work. They help out.
Yeah, they have
They make
to.
deliveries. They pick up the slack. The girls are doing laundry. Everyone's helping out. So it all works out.
It's a team. You
No,
have to run your
yes, you have
household
to-
like you run
yes.
your business.
Yes.
Right. If there's a problem, let's have a meeting. We
And
need this done.
And you have to engage your kids. Like it was funny
Yeah.
because Elena said to me the other day, she goes, "Mom, I love us because we're like a team together. The 3 of us, we always back each other up or help
That's
each other
right.
out." And we include Elena because she is the only child.
Right.
We include her in the conversations because she has no sibling to go like. When your parents were like, "Okay, you guys go play over here." Well, we're it. So she feels part of that decision
Of course.
making, which
She's probably more mature than the average. How old is she?
she's 11.
11, average 11-year-old,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, she's definitely like a clever little 16-year-old.
11 going on 16.
She can challenge me. But
Yeah.
yeah. But I do
They're
think you have to
fun.
engage your kids. I
You
think it's
do.
great that you get them
Yes.
part of the business. I think that's wonderful.
And then they appreciate it. They have a
Yeah.
sense of how hard you work and what you do for them, and hopefully they'll return the favor to their kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teach them to be good parents.
How about bringing faith into your work?
Oh gosh, I pray every day. I'm like, please God, get me through this. Just get me through this day. Give me my daily bread. Yeah, and I would love to do more of what you were talking about, looking to God for the answers. Because there are situations that we come across and we don't know how to react. I've coming across situations I've never been in before.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm definitely going to be talking to you more about that.
Well, I always say prayer. I always say, God, give me the words you need. Other people need to hear, and I always do that before I engage, before I go on the air, before I go on the radio, before I have a conversation, because I really do think when you tap into God, everything He'll talk to you. He really does talk to
I'm gonna
you.
implement that.
I'm
I
telling
like
you,
that.
God,
know,
give me the words other people need to, or that they need to hear.
Right.
Because I sometimes listen to my Christ Center communication messages. I'm like, did I write that?
They're always on
I
point,
really
too.
believe it's inspired by the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
And, obviously God knows better than we do, right?
course.
And so I think if you have a daily time with God every day, He truly leads you into the right direction. I mean, honestly, I'm going into 2019 with some unknowns and I'm a little scared. And I'm like, okay, God, it's on you. I'll take care of what I do know is going to be happening in 2019. The stuff I don't know, you figure that one out for me.
Yeah, I have that plaque in my office, Jesus, I trust in you. And I see that on a daily basis. And we have to put our trust in Him and do our best as, citizens. Be a good citizen,
I always say, let Jesus take the wheel.
Yes.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
just
I
sit
wish I
back
could
and
sing
enjoy
it,
the ride.
but I can't sing that song. I went to go talk to a potential client one time, and he runs this huge international company. And I sat in his office, and I saw the Catholic Bible in the lobby, which was odd. I'm like, wow, you usually see cranes or D-Business
Right,
or
right,
the News of the Free Press, and there was the Catholic Bible just front and center, right in the middle of, and I was like, I got to ask this guy what this is all about, and I loved it as a Catholic, but I'm like, he's got to deal with all kinds of people.
Right.
So I get into his office, and I said, before we even start this conversation, I got to ask you, what's up with the Catholic Bible in your lobby? And he goes, I want everybody to know who I deal business with, that God is my God, not money. And I'm like, wow.
Wow.
And he actually had a saying in his office that says, I worship God, not money. And I was so impressed with that. And I'm like, wow, here's this major businessman who does international business, and he's letting the world know that God is his focus. And I thought, if he can do that and feel confident, we all should be able to do that.
Yeah, that's a good thing to go by. Don't let money's evil. I mean, if you're going to let it control you, then we all have a problem.
And I love that he wasn't afraid to share that.
Yeah.
No matter who, he didn't know who was going to come to his lobby or who he's doing business. And
Right,
he does
he could
business
have alienated
overseas.
some people, and he
yeah.
didn't.
He didn't care. And there's the
Didn't
Catholic
care.
Bible.
And for him not
That's
to
good.
be embarrassed by it or to shy away so that you don't offend anybody. That's very nice, inspiring.
Yeah.
It inspired me.
Vanessa, you made a comment earlier. Somebody gave you advice. Was it the author from?
Oh, Chicken Soup for the
Chicken
Soul.
Yes.
Yeah, I was at a
Could
writers.
you share that with us?
Sure.
I'm sure the viewers would really benefit from
So I
hearing
was
it.
at a writers conference in Maui, which was a great place to be at a writers conference. But
Can I be your assistant next time?
Yeah, right.
I took my sister Vera. She came with me. She hung out with me. I'm like, come to this writers conference with me. So we went to a writers conference in Maui, and one of the authors of Chicken Soup for the Soul, not Victor Hugo, the other one, it's going to drive me crazy, but whatever. The guy that actually started Chicken Soup for the Soul. I said to him, I'd love to get advice from successful people, especially writers who have written tons of books, and he's sold 100 million copies of Chicken Soup for the Soul. So I would say that he's pretty successful.
Yes.
So we were at this hanging out in this bar at this hotel, and I said, can I ask you a question? What words of advice do you have for me as a writer, as a journalist? At the time I was a writer, full-time journalist. And he said, it has nothing to do with writing. He said, the best advice I can give you is this. Focus on what you do well. Focus on what your talent is, and only that. He goes, hire everybody else to do everything else for you. He goes, I don't clean my clothes, I don't clean my house, I don't mow my lawn, I don't plan my vacations, I don't do my taxes, I don't handle my finances. I have experts for all of that. He goes, I only focus on being a speaker and an author. That's all I focus on. He goes, and that's where my success came from. And I thought it was great advice.
It is good advice. It's great advice.
Yeah, because I'll tell you, if I was my own accountant, I'd probably be in jail today. I can't balance. I can't do numbers.
It's okay. You can be good at everything.
No. So that was probably one of the best advices I've gotten. And I think we all should ask people that. Ask
Yeah.
people, what do you attribute your success to? And what advice do you have for me?
How about you, Karen? And you, Weston?
so-
What would you say?
There was a piece of advice that my sister told me that she had heard, and Connie had said, if you get an opportunity and you're not ready, take it and then get ready.
Oh, that's a good
Yes,
one. That's
that
a
is.
great
Yes,
advice.
which is kind of what happened to me initially.
Yeah.
So that was really good.
Yeah, that's. I asked Jack from Garden Fresh. I said, "What is your secret?" He said, "Take care of your employees." He said, because
I like that
Yeah.
one.
they're gonna be your backbone. You know,
Yes.
what we think we can do everything, we really can't. You know, so take care of them. And I kept that in mind because I used to get so sad when we were in our little 1,300 square foot. They took their breaks in our little like mop room / break room, and I'm like, I'm gonna build you a nice break room
Yeah.
with your own little whatever. So we did that when we moved. Now they have
Nice.
a place to hang out, and it feels like home, and just treat them like their family. And that's
Have your employees been with you for a long time?
yeah, they have. Like I tend to hire since they're not communicating with the public. Like and I've had been lucky enough to hire some refugees that have been here a short amount of time.
Oh, that's nice.
Which
That
is
is very
the
nice.
good thing is I speak Chaldean. I can speak Arabic to them, so
Oh,
that's helped them out.
great.
You know,
Great.
and they don't have to deal with the public, so it's easy. I mean, communicating to them, and they've been with me for 5, 6, 7 years since we kind of started, and they're loyal, and we teach them a little bit of English. Like we joke about
And they
it.
teach you a little bit of Chaldean, a little bit more
Oh, do you
Chaldean.
have the word of the day?
Yeah, word of the day, parsley. You know?
Chaldean word of the day. Well, I bet you your kids learned from
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, they do. It's fun. We make it a fun atmosphere. We're like, you have to learn how to spell these veggies, and then. We get excited when they get their citizenship. We're like, where's the baklava? You just passed your citizenship test. So
It was
it's-
Jack Canfield, by the way. You just said Jack.
Jack
Jack Canfield
Jack
from Chicken
Canfield.
Soup for the Soul.
So
All right.
yeah, be good to
That's
your
good advice.
employees, and you'll reap the rewards.
Very nice.
So it's like do unto others as you do unto yourself. That's where you
Yes.
bring your Christian values
Yes.
to.
Yeah. That's
And I think
faith
it's
at
wonderful
work.
that you're hiring new immigrants too. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
I love them. Like Nick, my husband doesn't speak Arabic, and his Chaldean's not that great, but I don't have a problem with it. I'm like, I'll talk to them.
Do they ever inspire new salads for you? Something different?
No, not them. They would probably, this is all new to them. Actually, I'm introducing like all these different flavors to them, and they're like, oh, this is good. Now they know what quinoa is, and
Right, that's a new
and
thing.
kale. They're used to, eating the romaine. They think a salad should just be head lettuce or romaine. So and lentils should be in a soup.
A soup, yeah.
Right.
They're not used to that.
So you have some of your salads here. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your salads?
Sure. So we didn't bring all 10. We brought whatever was left from our mix today. Kale tabbouleh is our most popular salad.
That was one of the first.
Yeah, that was one of our
Yeah.
first ones.
It's like a signature salad.
Yes, and that's gluten-free because we've swapped the cracked wheat for quinoa. So people that have wheat allergies can have our kale tabbouleh. And it's mixed with kale and parsley. Some people say, oh, we didn't think kale can taste so good. They have this impression like kale's bitter, kale. But if you chop it nice and fine and you dress it nicely, it works. And then we do like a Moroccan lentil, which is
my favorite.
it's delicious.
Love
It
that
has like the Indian-inspired flavors, cumin, cardamom. It has organic maple syrup.
Sounds
it's,
delicious.
It's a little
it's my
sweet.
favorite.
It's kind of like a fresh granola bar.
In fact, I'm taking it home.
Yeah, it's so delicious.
I was gonna say I'm taking that
yeah,
the
you
tabbouleh,
you
though.
guys can take.
I
it-
I
love
have a
the
feeling
kale
I'm going to stop
tabbouleh.
at Market Square. I know
I
leave
brought
you
these
one. We'll
to,
leave you
to
one.
pass out. The pure protein we didn't bring today. That's our second most popular. I brought some tahini kale for you guys to try with the vegan tahini dressing, which is creamy without the mayo and the actual cream. They're loving that. They want the dressing. You know, the stores are asking me, "Are you selling the dressing?"
gotta bottle it.
So we got to bottle the dressing
Yes.
now. So we can do that. We can do the kale dressing. You know, and they're all delicious. They all, you know, they're unique in their own way. Fresh herbs, fresh lemon juice. You can taste the quality.
Is there a minimum number of salads a market has to purchase from you?
Yeah, we have a 4-tub minimum, which is equivalent to like 28 pounds, which is very easy for
I'm
them
asking
to.
so I know where to find all of these.
Yeah, yeah. So they can carry any flavors. Like sometimes if they carry a regular tabbouleh, they don't want to carry our tabbouleh, or if they have if they make something similar. But what we'd like to tell them is they're chef prepared, you know, they're chef quality salads. They're not something you would get in like a box, you know. We
Right.
call that morning, we get their orders, and then we give it to our kitchen, and then they prepare them. So it's basically made to order, you know, and they're always fresh. We deliver 4 times a week. We encourage them to order small so they keep their product fresh. We don't like them to sit there, you know,
Right.
for X number of days. And
That's good to know.
Yeah.
too.
definitely.
yeah,
You know.
so and then we do the demos, the sampling, and all that good stuff to promote it, because it's fun when you introduce people to them and then they're in love. They're
Well, they
hooked.
say it drives sales. Have
Yeah.
you done demos too,
Yeah.
Karen?
Yes, that's like, it's huge for me, especially since I'm new and I've got to get my name out there.
Karen can't keep up with the demos.
The demos,
actually,
yeah, they do really well. It's great to see faces light up after they've tried it. But the most important thing is some people are reluctant to try something new, you know, and when you're sampling it, it's just like going to Costco. You know, when they're demoing, I mean, your cart is like twice as full.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Yeah, I walk out of there. You just remember, never go hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
Or take your kids with you.
Yeah, take your
then
kids-
they try
yeah.
everything
Yeah.
and then
they're full, and then you're
Yes.
done. Or they cost you more because they're throwing
they cost
everything
you
in your
more.
cart.
Yes. Yeah. No, demos are definitely a good way to put your name out there
Yeah.
and just to succeed. I see that within our own store too. You can't go wrong. But the problem is just having the manpower, because the
Right.
store is not going to provide
Right.
the
Right.
salesperson for you.
Right.
So
Yeah, you have to supply. We when we demo, we supply. You know, the person obviously has to do it, and all the product, and they're not cheap.
Right, it's
You
expensive.
know, it's
Yeah.
expensive to demo, and but it
if
does
you're going to
help.
hire somebody, yes.
exactly.
Right. When you hire someone, it's not the same either. You know,
No.
they don't have your same passion, and it shows when you're demoing it. So
We have to train them, though. Remember,
yes,
we
you
can't
gotta
do
train
everything.
them. I know,
Yeah.
right? We got to take your advice, Vanessa.
Yeah, you do.
But yeah, it's challenging. It's fun. I mean, I don't know what else I would do. I love what I'm doing, and it's
Just keep doing it.
yeah.
Do you guys
keep
have
doing
a
it.
daily routine? I mean, do you guys have like a daily routine of running the business? Or is it? I mean, is there a structure and
Oh
everything
yeah,
you do?
yeah. Like 2 days a week we snip our veggies, and then
Okay.
2 days a week we prep them, we chop them. 2 days a week we mix. So like all our kale comes in today. You know, 20 boxes of kale, all the parsley, and we're real picky with the washing. The kale gets rinsed 4 times, and then we salad spin
Wow.
it. You know,
Wow.
the kale tabbouleh is probably takes the longest to make you
Because
know?
of the cal, yeah.
right.
What about, so we're at the end of the year, you guys, we're at the end of the year. Do you guys go through, like, evaluate the year, and then as you're going into the next year, what you do differently? I mean, do you look at that from a business perspective?
Yeah, we reflect on it. You know, sure, we can always improve on you look at your sales, and we've noticed the trend in our company is growing every year. Our sales are growing every year, which is a
Good.
blessing. You know, and that's exciting for us because it keeps us excited about introducing new products.
My husband always said this one time, and I don't know if he heard this from somebody or not, but he owns a wine shop, and his thought is you're either in the business or you're not. You have to decide for yourself. Are you in the business? And if you are, you constantly have to be looking at what you're doing and what the trends are and how you can change and how you can grow. And if you're just going to stay where you
Stagnant.
are
Yeah.
and stagnant, then
Right.
you know what? There's always going to be something else that's going to come up that's
Yeah,
going to
you-
maybe be
you
a
do-
little
you
bit
do have to
better
keep
or a
up
little
with-
bit different.
Yeah.
You have to
A
keep
lot
up
of,
It's so
with
a
the
lot
trends.
of my
fast-paced.
recipes on my website are very like following trends and the latest what the healthier, like I use a lot of kale in my salads as well, and I share them all on my website so that my customers know how to use my dressings or have different ways to use them.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm constantly, reading up on food blogs and what's
I'm
new.
constantly sending her pictures.
Yes.
Oh, so Karen, you're giving like ideas of
Yes,
what kind of what kind of
yes.
salad to use this dressing.
Yes,
in.
like
Oh,
the
that's
citrus
good.
honey pairs great with kale. I have a kale salad also that has shaved Parmesan, quinoa, and toasted pine nuts, caramelized golden
Yum.
raisins. I think you've tried that
Yeah,
one.
that was delicious.
Yeah, that was, and then the Mediterranean lemon. I have what we call a deconstructed guacamole salad. I love guacamole. So this has kale, it has avocado, red onion, tomato, cucumber, and it's just,
how
kinda
cool.
just-
So it's
yeah.
deconstruct. Okay.
Yes, and it goes great with the Mediterranean lemon. So
Very
I have
good.
a bunch of recipes on there.
And both are great as marinades, too.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so the Mediterranean lemon I use on chicken all the time.
Yum.
And one of the chefs at Plum Market told me he uses it on lamb chops. He said it's great on lamb chops.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll
he uses
try
lamb
that.
chops.
The Mediterranean lemon.
Yes,
Yum.
and then and my friend Sydney makes her salmon with my citrus honey. She marinates the salmon. Yeah, and that's
I didn't even think about
delicious.
using them as marinades. That's a
Oh my
great
God,
idea.
they're delicious as
Yeah.
marinades.
Yeah.
I love salmon. And I love lamb chops.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yum.
So we
I
did
know.
get a message from Kristen. Kristen Rita, very inspiring women. God bless you all, and I wish you continued success.
Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
thank you,
And I do wish
Kristen.
all three of you continued success. Thank you
thank
so
you.
much
Thank
for
you.
coming out today and sharing your story and your journey with our viewers and with me. And we would love to have you back again to see, hopefully, growing.
Thank you.
With
Thank
4 new
you.
dressings, and you're already at 10,000 square
Yeah,
feet. I don't know
that's
if I should
incredible.
wish
Yeah.
20,000 for you or not. If
New
that's a good
products.
thing or not.
Yeah.
Maybe salad or vegan
Yeah.
soup line.
Oh,
We'll
vegan
see.
soup line would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we did that. We sampled some soups, like a really good lentil,
Low
a chili
sodium
quinoa.
soups.
Yeah,
I
low
don't think
sodium for my
people-
blood pressure. That's
Yeah.
a good
People
one.
don't realize
Yeah.
how much sodium is in the canned soups.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
In fact, I stopped using canned soup because of the sodium.
Yeah.
And it would be great to have a quick,
Yeah.
go pick me up healthy
Yeah.
soup.
Right.
And that's what's
Yeah.
so great about your food. It's really like homemade food.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
is. It is
People realize
homemade.
it.
You're
Yeah,
right.
It's homemade food because
No preservatives.
we've had a deli in our store, and you know a lot of times when these salads come in, they have a lot of preservatives.
taste it.
They could.
Yeah.
They'll stay. Their shelf life is 30 days.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you just have to think to yourself, do I really want to eat this? You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so you know.
Well,
now
going
with
back to the
Gabby's
dressing,
Garden.
you have ingredients in them that you couldn't even pronounce.
Yeah.
And you're like, what is this?
Do I really want to eat this? So it's nice
Yeah.
because with me being a working mom, it's great to be able to stop and really feel like you have home cooked meals for your kids.
Yeah, you do feel good about it. I would
Yeah.
rather pick up a salad and add something that I have at home
Right.
than a pizza three nights a week
Yeah,
or what have you.
exactly.
You know?
Right.
It's more
Even though
nutritious.
my kids would rather have pizza.
Yeah.
So tell us really quickly, you guys, both of you, where can we get your products?
Yes.
So go.
So right now we are in over 35 stores, I want to say, primarily Plum Market, Market Square,
Papa Joe's?
not yet,
Not yet.
Picnic
Westbourne.
Basket, Bush's next year.
good.
I just
That's
got picked up by
exciting.
Bush's.
Yay.
And a lot of smaller stores. But if you go on my website, there's a list of all the stores on where you can find.
Yeah,
And
same
they can
with
also
us.
purchase it right from your
Oh, yes,
website
you can
too.
purchase from my website, and it's also on Amazon, Amazon.com. And if you have Amazon Prime, you'll get it in 2 days.
That's
Free
awesome.
shipping.
Oh, that's
No, I
awesome.
didn't know it was.
Yeah.
You're right. It is on Amazon.
Yeah. So it's
I
funny.
can't be that lazy. Plum is right across the street.
Well, how about it was, I wanted to send this as a gift to someone, and it was easier for me to just buy it on Amazon.
Oh.
And then shipping it myself.
Well, actually,
Yes.
yeah, you're right. Ship it from Amazon.
Yes,
It's
it
great.
was so much easier.
How about you,
Yeah.
Wes? And where are yours?
So we're in all the market squares, Market Fresh, the Papa Joe's, the Westbournes, the Vincent Joe's, the holiday markets. We're in the airport. We have 3 spots. Like a grab and go before you in the Delta terminal before you get on the plane.
It's not a Gabby's Garden store, but
No,
it's in the store and it's
a,
got
it's a
your
Papa
label.
Joe grab and go.
Oh,
And
Would you be at Beaumont Hospital too?
Yeah, so we're at Beaumont, and then Rochester Papa Joe's. We're going to be at the new Nino's on
Maple.
the Maple.
Oh, the one that's
yeah,
just opening
yeah,
up?
We're going
Oh.
to be there.
It hasn't opened up
end
yet.
of the month.
Not
So
yet.
yeah, all the Nino's, Picnic Basket. We kind of All the Better Healths. We're at All the Better Healths that have a cafe. And so it's exciting, you know, to,
And I never knew. I remember you being at Hiller's
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
seeing you at Market Square, but
Yeah.
it's so nice to hear all these other stores.
Did you start at Hiller's?
Yeah, Hiller's was one of our
Because
first stores.
Garden Fresh started at Hiller's too, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah, Hiller's,
Jim
we-
Hiller was really good at introducing
Yeah,
local
yeah.
products.
They like
We
Michigan
miss
made
them.
Yeah.
products.
Yeah.
We miss
It was
Hiller's.
sad. It was sad to see that.
I don't
But
even want to talk about it. I'm still in denial.
Yeah.
It's fun. I've even thought about opening up a little Gabby's Garden Cafe once we've built our
would be
commissary
great.
to where we're supplying. We have a dressing line, a soup line, and what have you. You just kind of pop them up and supply them.
But
you
you're
know.
a lot of local great independents. We have a lot of
Yes.
great
Yeah.
independents.
So I'm happy with
retailers.
that.
Yeah.
You know, I
Good.
don't want to compete with them.
What about a food truck?
Yeah,
And you know what's so
A healthy
nice?
food truck.
yeah.
that all- you know, we don't have
For
healthy
That
parties,
actually good
yeah.
attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's nice that the independents support local businesses.
yeah. We
You guys,
do.
I think you
We
guys should do contests on looking for food tasters to
Actually,
promote the product.
I have one planned.
Oh, good, yeah.
I have a focus group lined up for next month to try all my new dressings and give
Yeah.
me some feedback.
That's
I
But you should have a
awesome.
contest, like promote it, saying, "Do you want to be one of our food tasters?"
Yeah.
And do like a
Yes.
contest.
I love
on
that idea.
you know? There's my marketing tip for both
Yeah.
of you guys.
Thank you. And it's free.
Yeah, it's free. Free to all of you.
I did do a giveaway on Instagram.
Good for
So,
you, yeah,
if you
that's
tag
good. Yeah,
that's a good
people-
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do
So-
a
and I
giveaway.
actually
You
felt
should
like
do,
Oprah.
especially for the working moms.
Yeah, I will. That's a good idea. I've never
Yeah.
really thought of
Tell
that.
kids to write a letter of why their mom deserves a meal.
Oh, I
Why-
love
to
that.
making their
That's a
meal
really
for
good
the day.
idea.
That is
Yeah.
great.
Why does your mom deserve? Elena, write that letter right now.
You'll probably have
Yeah.
the best.
We have the stop. Fadi's waiting
I'd have
to
to write
us
my
that we
own
have
kids'
to.
letters,
Fadi's,
so-
we never talk
Yes.
about him, but he's the the director behind the
And
scenes.
he's looking at us like we need
Hi,
to
Fadi.
stop.
He's behind the
Our
scenes that we have to
hour's up.
stop.
But it's
Okay.
been such an interesting topic, and
Yeah.
thank you again for sharing
Thank
your story
you.
with us. And
That
thank
flew.
you, Vanessa, for
Yeah.
being here
No,
with us today.
happy
I
to
didn't
be
think I
here.
could survive the hour. but-
Yeah, it goes
Okay.
like
Here,
super
Vanessa,
fast.
Ave Maria Radio,
Yeah, thank you.
communication
Yeah,
evangelist.
thank you.
Ladies, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of the show. If you want to ask questions, you still can. If you watch the video, you can type in questions, and
Go to our websites.
Karen would gladly answer, and so would Vanessa.
Yeah.
But Wesson is not on social media, but your daughter, I'm sure.
No,
will
I
pick
mean
it
I have
up.
Instagram. I don't do the
Yes.
Facebook, but we have a website with
We
an
can email
inquiry.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
On our website, you can send a question, and we'll get to that.
So
we
thank you
answer
for
those.
being with us tonight. Merry Christmas to you and your family. God bless you, and Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight.